Today, I want to talk about how Roaring Kitty is about to squeeze yet another short hedge fund and trigger the mother of all short squeezes by likely exercising its call options on the live stream tomorrow. So stay tuned and let's make some money. Later in the video, I also want to go through the massive $48,000 gain today we had on GameStop in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group. But first I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, you may have seen that Unusual Whales tweeted saying that Roaring Kitty of GameStop has scheduled a live stream for tomorrow, June 7th. So if you head over to YouTube to Roaring Kitty's page, we can see that he's scheduled a live stream for June 7th at 12 midday at GMT-4. This is obviously the first time in many years that Roaring Kitty has actually done a live stream, and I'm sure he's going to pull well over 100,000 viewers. I think firstly it will be a great estimation of the number of people still holding AMC and GameStop shares, as many people still in the play will likely be in attendance at this live stream. Obviously the true number of holders will likely be multiple times larger than the number of viewers because of all the people that are busy at work and can't tune into the live. But I imagine during the live stream, tons and tons of people are going to be buying more shares and listening to what Roaring Kitty has to say. Now on top of that, Roaring Kitty also gave us his GameStop position update as at the end of the day. We can see he's still holding the same 5 million GameStop shares and the same 120,000 call options. That obviously means he hasn't sold any shares, he hasn't sold any calls, he's still in the play, and therefore he still thinks GameStop will go higher. Now obviously the absolutely crazy thing about that is the $75 million day gain on his shares and the $175 million day gain on the options, for a total daily gain of $250 million. Meaning that he's now over $500 million in his portfolio at $586 million. Now, Jay House has tweeted explaining why the shorts and the market makers are so scared of what's about to happen. So he said that likely tomorrow, potentially on the live stream, Roaring Kitty is going to sell some or all of the 5 million shares to generate the cash needed to exercise those call options, which is $240 million. To exercise the 120,000 call options for 12 million shares at a $20 strike price will cost $240 million. And he said that's why Wall Street and the SEC are losing their minds right now. If Roaring Kitty exercised all of these options and the market makers had to buy him 12 million shares. And Zip Trader added saying if Roaring Kitty decides to exercise his GameStop options on the live stream tomorrow, thereby forcing market makers and the brokers to cough up 12 million GameStop shares out of thin air for him to buy, prepare for one of the most epic rallies in history. I think especially because if Roaring Kitty did decide to exercise those options and buy all of the shares, many of the viewers that are also holding GameStop options would also exercise too. Again, and I'm sure that many of us that are holding AMC calls would also be doing the same, exercising options on AMC to make it even worse for the market makers. And we can already see a perfect example of how scared these shorts are, as Citron Research has been going on a bit of a tweet spree complaining about Roaring Kitty. So as I said earlier, today had one of the best results from the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group we've ever had, with one of our members making $43,000 in just one trade. So he posted saying that he needed to come up with some money for personal reasons and join the lifetime membership. He's been building up his money, building up the recent trades we've had in the group, and just went all in on GameStop options with the profits. He was able to cash out the needed $43,000 for a special person in his life and is still holding an additional 31 calls of GameStop overnight. You can see he's still got $24,000 of unrealized gains. Michael also made $2,600 today because these GameStop options went from $1.30 per options contract to over $8. So guys, if you want to be making this kind of life-changing money, be sure to join the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group using the link in the description below. So they started by saying that what made Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty, interesting initially was his authenticity. He shared a detailed investment thesis and put his money where his mouth was, which combined with a high short interest and a restless country, and boom, investing history. But they've said now with GameStop, he posts with a large account and a significant near-term options position, appearing more like manipulation without a solid thesis. Considering the stock is now 2,000% higher than his initial video almost 4 years ago, we believe someone is backing Keith Gill. They've said there's no way he's made this trade size alone, and I'm going to explain why he's made it on his own easily without any backing. So they've said his reported finances don't support his trade, and investors will see through his roaring Icarus. Let's break down why he did place this trade on his own without backing, and why Citron Research is either very stupid or is being ignorant and complaining. So in 2021, Keith Gill, or Roaring Kitty, made around $40 million. We can see that he spent around $174 million on these shares on options. So they're saying Keith Gill must have had external funding because he's turned $40 million into $174 million in 4 years by doing nothing. It must be someone else. But remember, this is Roaring Kitty's position as of June, disregarding what happened back in May. Now, likely what happened back in May is that Roaring Kitty bought tons and tons of call options and then obviously started tweeting, pushing the price up massively. He likely sold those options at the start of May to generate that $174 million. If you think if he took even a small portion of the $40 million, let's say he took just $5 million, bought those call options which then ran over 2,000%, that on its own would be well over 200 million. So therefore he's taken the 40 million, bought calls in May, sold those calls, and then bought more calls in June, where we are now. But Citron have complained even further, saying when Keith Gill testified during the GameStop hearing, he stated my investment in GameStop and my posts on social media were entirely my own. Can he still say the same now? Saying it seems Kitty has transitioned from a relatable investor who eagerly shared his investment insight to just another rich stock promoter with a flashy car collection. Saying it will be interesting what an investigation turns up, and Citron's gut instinct or gut feeling is behind this trading activity is some mysterious crypto backer. As I've said, there's no one backing Keith Gill but himself, and an investigation won't turn up anything, and Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, will once again walk away scot-free for doing nothing wrong. Now, on top of that, the Cabesi letter is tweeted saying, breaking news, GameStop short sellers today alone have lost $1.1 billion. After saying the GameStop stock was halted 3 times today as the stock was up 50%. Now, it'll be very interesting to see what that number looks like tomorrow. The whole time I've been recording this video, I've had the GameStop chart open in the background. Today, the price of GameStop closed around $46 per share, and in the after hours has already run over $59 per share. And finally, Kevin Malone tweeted saying, breaking news. According to the most recent GameStop 13F filing, all of the top call option sellers combined do not have enough shares to satisfy Roaring Kitty's 12 million shares or 12 million shares worth of options currently in the money. So let me explain why this is market breaking. Keith Gill has 120,000 call options or the equivalent of 12 million shares. If he exercises those call options, somebody obviously has to give him those shares. Now, the person or the people that have to give him the shares are the market makers, but the market makers don't have enough shares. Even if you combine all of the market makers together between IMC Chicago, Simplex, Group 1, Citadel, Susquehanna, Jane Street and everyone else, it's only a few million. So that means at the very least, at the very minimum, these market makers have to go into the market and buy millions of shares. And this action of the market makers going into the market to buy these shares, the gamma squeezing, could end up leading to the mother of all short squeezes. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.